She's now an advocate against domestic violence, hoping to create a home for victims here in Pensacola.
And when I turned back around, a shotgun was facing me and he shot me.
Williams was shot in the stomach, killing her unborn baby she had named Jamie.
She saved my life. You're not alone. You're not alone. And if I came out, you can come out.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of No More Silence. And I have with me my co-host and partner is Miss Carolyn Williams. Carolyn, welcome to another edition of No More Silence.
Yes, thank you, Vernon. I'm so happy to be with you tonight, my partner in crime.
Yes, sugar. Yes, ma'am.
Vernon, I had an opportunity last Sunday to attend an event, and they wanted me to, to talk about domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started talking, the audience, the people, they was eating, and it was loud noise. But then when I started talking and telling my story, they got quiet. And some of the things that I heard the people say when I said, okay, I went back and he shot me, they told me, oh no, that wouldn't have been me. I would have did this and I would have been did that and I would have been. And I told him, I said, you know what? I said the same thing, that I would never, ever let a man put their hands on me. But I didn't really feel bad about what they were saying. And the reason why I didn't feel bad, because if that had not happened to me, I would not be able to help other women that are in domestic violence relationships. So tonight we want to talk about is, so many times I hear family members, I watch, different shows, and I when they interviewing families, and they always say, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. And the average person would sit back and say, well, why you didn't know, or you should have known. And they just don't understand is that when a person is in that type of relationship, they are afraid. They are shameful. They put on a mask. That's what happens, Berner. They put on a mask and pretend like everything is okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, most folks don't understand it, Carolyn, anyway. I mean, once you go through the experience that you went through, and people can always sit back and what I call Monday morning quarterback or judging you, but they have to understand from whence you came, okay? And then they maybe can understand that. And I think when you probably you got their attention once you start talking to them, that group, and saying, "Oh, I wouldn't have did this, I wouldn't have did that." Well, you just don't know what you're doing until you're into a situation. So don't prejudge until you're there. But you know what I've learned in my life, Carolyn? I've learned to listen to other people, so I don't make the same mistakes that they're made. Okay.
Wow, Vernon, please. I need you to say that again, please.
I've learned from other people based on their experience, so I don't make the same mistake. Some people are in denial about a lot of things. So I would never do that. I wouldn't do that. You don't know. You don't know what you would do. And but you got some people you can say, look, that you if you go 2 more feet, you'll fall off a cliff. They won't believe you.
Mm.
So they go 2 more feet and they fall off the cliff. But I don't have to fall off the cliff. If I know that somebody else fell off, or you tell me somebody gonna fall off, it's good enough for me. So
Yeah.
let me don't let me make the same mistakes when I can avoid those mistakes. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I got.
And
Yeah,
and that's why we have no more silence. So
right.
that they don't make that mistake. That's why I share what I've been through so that they don't make that mistake. I didn't have the information that I have today. They didn't have this type of information that I'm getting now. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. And even if a person decide that, they're going to stay in that situation, at
Mm-hmm.
least you can give them the information. You can give them something else to think about. They
Right.
only thinking about, I have to stay here. I don't know how I'm going to make it. But if you give the person the information, it's like, Vernon, it's like planting a seed. It's planting a seed. You follow what I'm saying? But you can't plant a seed if you don't give a seed. Lord.
Right. That is so true, Sugar. That is so true. So now I hope folks learn from this show. I can't believe that people would not take what you say at face value when you went through and you experienced it. You made your mistakes, and so why would they want to make the same mistakes that you made? They can learn from it. And I think this show you can't get to everybody, but I think maybe you know the old saying about trying to throw sand in the ocean. Is it going to make a difference? Well, that little piece of sand you throw in there, it might make a difference, but it might not make a difference to the whole ocean. But it's going to have its impact. Sooner or later, if you throw enough grains of sand in the ocean, you would have you could create an island if there's enough sand get thrown in there, right?
Yeah. Well, I want to share this with you. I didn't share this with you when we wasn't on the set, but I want to wait and share this with you.
Okay.
I had a young lady that called the Jamie's house phone. And she said that she's been listening. I think you must show it 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or something. But she said in the wee hour, she said she listened to the show and she's been listening and she's been tuning in. And she said she's in this domestic violence relationship. And she said she's been in this relationship for a total of 10 years. And she said she kept listening, getting the information, didn't get out until finally she decided to open up, tell her family exactly what was going on, and telling them, you know what, you can't make me come out. I'm at the point where I'm willing and ready to come out. And she told me, she said, I am out. I thank you. And she said that her children are safe and she is safe. So that if one person, if she gets it and she comes out, and I told her, I said, what I want you to do, since you came out, you got the information. Now I want you to help somebody else. And that's what Jamie's house is all about. When you go through Jamie's house, the thing is you are to help somebody else to be able to come out. And if we would all get that, not only with Jamie's house, but if we all would get that same mindset, that whatever I've been through, I don't mind sharing it, or whatever information I have, I don't mind sharing it to help my sister and my brother or somebody to come out.
Right.
Or whatever situation they're in.
Carolyn, you're so right. You're absolutely so right. Domestic, I sit there and look at all of these crime shows, Carolyn, on TV, and a lot of them, majority of them, is what I call the crime of passion and crime of domestic violence type of crime, which they don't have to be, but they don't have to be, and so people were to listen and follow some advice. And one thing, if I didn't get anything out of the conversation that you and I've been having all these months over on this show, but you said one thing that people need to take advantage of, and that if you're in this situation, create a plan. Don't do anything drastic. Just create a plan. I just saw a crazy show the other day on that where Carolyn, this lady decided that her eyes got open. You know, she took a domestic abuse, as long as she could take it. Then she decided, I'm going to leave you, and he made sure that she didn't leave him. If I can't have no else, I'm going to have you. And so, talk to him again. Talk about these people that are in these situations about just don't do anything drastic. If you're in those situations, talk to somebody like yourself. Talk to some professional. But above all, have your plan. Talk to them about having a plan so that they can escape. It's just not like it's just like being in prison. If you try to escape from a prison, you know what the guard's going to do? Shoot you when you're trying to get out, right? So it's the same thing. Yeah. So you have to have an escape plan. Talk to them about that, if you will.
Well, Vernon, that was one of the things that I didn't know. I didn't have the information that I needed. And when I told my ex that I was getting ready to leave, that's when he shot me. You know, all the other times I never mentioned the word leaving him. But when I said it that time, that's when he shot me. So it's very important that you have a plan. If you have children, you need to make sure that you have their birth certificate, you have their social security card, the immunization, because you know you're going to enroll them in school. If you need your information also, and what I tell victims, if they're going to leave, they need to make sure that they pack a bag. You know, don't leave it in the car. You know, you can put it under the house. You can take it to your friend's house or somewhere, but get your bag where you have some clothes and things. And so many women, they stay because, you know, they have this brick house and it is so nice and furniture, and they don't want to leave that. But you know what? If you get killed, somebody else, he's going to move somebody else in there. They're going to be sleeping in your bed. They're going to be sitting on the furniture that you guys have. So you have to really value your life. And so you need to make sure that, you know, you have telephone numbers, you have, and you don't need to tell him when you're going to leave. You need to wait till he's gone somewhere. You know, he's at work, and then make your move then. Don't say one word. Don't get on Facebook.
Yeah.
And you need to open up to someone and let them know, or either if you have children, you need to let them know that, you know what, we're going to leave. When you hear the code, give a code. That code is also, you know, to call someone if the man get abused or if the woman get abused.
Right.
You need to have a code. You know, your code might be ducks or chicken or something. A code that child would know to call, call the law enforcement, or either go to the neighbor's house and have them to call. And what people don't understand is this, that when the police, I hear a lot of people say, well, when the police come out, he didn't do anything. What happens a lot of time is that woman is afraid and she won't say anything. But if she tells that child, you know what, I want you to start recording our fights. When we having a fight, I want you to be in the other room. Don't be in the room with me. And I want you to record what daddy or mama is saying. So when the police come, they can hear the conversation. And you don't need to get to the point where you're getting violent, because the one that's being violent, he's going to try to provoke you to say something or get out of character, because the one that is being violent, that's the one they're going to take. So you don't just up and leave. You have to. You have to have a plan. Vernon, that is the most dangerous time, because they know that they're going to lose control. I was talking with one lady, and she was saying that the young lady, right after I did, you know, I spoke to them about domestic violence, and the lady that was over the program, they called me and they said, man, I had no clue whatsoever that this church member, her sister, was in a domestic violence relationship. And you just spoke about it. So they're calling me, and And so I had an opportunity, a chance to talk to the sister, and I was giving her, this information and telling her, most dangerous time. And she said, well, she has left him, about 6 times. It takes 7 times, but anyway, about 5 or 6 times, and said that he's accusing her of sleeping with somebody else, and what he's going to do to her. And she sent the family, listen to this, Vernon. She sent the family a text message saying,
Mm-hmm.
if anything happened to me,
Wow.
he did it. Now listen,
Wow.
in order for her to send that text message, he's doing something, or he's doing something, or he done told her, I'm going to kill you.
You right.
Her life is really in danger now.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I'm going to wait till I'll get paid. No, no, no. I get paid in 2 weeks. No, no, no. And I was telling them, I say, have her to call the domestic violence hotline. She lives in Georgia, but in the domestic hotline is 1-800-799-7233. And if you live in Escambia County, we also have Favor House, which is 850-434-1177. You also can call the military, which is 877-995-5247. And you also can call Jamie's house, which is 850-291-4624. And even if you have a question that you want to ask, this is a call in. You can call in. And if I don't know the information, I guarantee you that I will get the information. And on the next show, I will share that information with you. But I was telling them, she needs to get a plan. But family members need to realize this, is that if you don't say anything and you're being silent and you're not saying anything, you're
Mm-hmm.
not giving them anything to think about. You're not planting a seed. It says that the Bible even says that without knowledge, our people perish. So
Right.
knowledge is powerful. It's powerful. It's very powerful. So you need to give them the information, whether they use it or not. At least when they're going through that, they'll say, well, you know what? They told me about the domestic violence hotline. It is a way out, because they feel like they're stuck. They feel like they're stuck, Vernon.
Yep. I know. And so, but with shows like this, I think it will go help. And Carolyn, you was just talking about earlier. That's why I run the show different time frames throughout the month. Okay, you're right. Maybe somebody at 2:00 in the morning might get a chance to hear it. It might be on a Wednesday night, or it might be on a Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? But we run them, but you never know how and when this information is needed. You don't need it until you see it. And so we want folks to be aware that domestic violence, it is nothing. It's nothing to play with. And we got to take domestic violence really, really serious. From the domestic, I know it's been around for a long time, and people treat it cavalier sometimes, but it can be deadly. You don't want to do that. It can be deadly.
Yeah. I was looking at some statistics for Escambia County, and it says that had over 2,028 domestic violence. And we have a population of 322,390.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a rate of 100,629.1, which doubled the statewide average of 314.9. So still in 2024, Escambia County, we are very high when it comes to the rate as far as domestic violence. And one of the reason is because of poverty. Because our state, the poverty that we have, and we don't even realize. And I'm doing a paper now, and I'm doing it on domestic violence as far as Black women. So Black women are 3 times more likely to experience domestic violence. Black women, our queens, are 3 times more likely than any other race to experience domestic violence. And Vernon, when I'm in an environment, or either say I'm out somewhere, or either in church, it's 1 in 4, and I'm like, okay, it's in the church, it's in the workplace, it's in when you're going to an outing or something. There is somebody that is in domestic violence, and I don't know why. In order for people have a lot of respect for their leaders. Right. If you are a leader of a church, a pastor, whatever, people have a lot of respect for them. But you don't hear a lot of leaders talking about domestic violence. I even told, what I told a lot of them? I say, if you have a women's group, I'm not going to charge you. This is not something that I'm trying to make money off. I would not charge you. But if you want me to come in and speak to your women's group, I would do that for free. I'm not trying to make money off of that. That's not my goal. Even when I was in ministry, I didn't do ministry. I don't do ministry to make money, because God always supply everything that I need. I do it to help someone. So if you have a women's ministry and you want me to come in and teach you your women and give them signs about domestic violence and tell you how you can help them, I'm more than willing, because I'm just one person. And so if I share this information with other people, you can be a voice. The number is 850-291-4624 if you want me to come in and speak to your group. And also, I have a website, which is www.jamieshouse, that's with an S, .org. And I'm more than welcome. I'm not charging you. I'm not asking for any money. If a woman, because once you have me to come in, you're going to notice that somebody, just like this lady had me to come in, it was a church function. Somebody is going to come up to you and say, you know what? That's me. I'm in a domestic violence relationship. They will not talk about it because of shame. They will not talk about it because of judgment, because people judge them. And even when I was in that environment, I know, Vernon, that there were some women there that are in domestic violence relationship, and they was checking out how the women are going to respond. And some of the women respond with judgment. But you have to know that there was some women there, not all of the women, but there were some women and men there that will not judge you, that will help you. And so many times when it comes to the faith community, many times they won't come out because they feel pressure to keep the family together. And I'm not, I don't care what you say about me. I'm not going to tell a woman just to go and pray.
Right.
No. When you're getting the information, go and pray. Yeah, pray, but you need to take it a further step than to just pray. And that's what we need to stop doing, is telling them, just pray about it. Just pray about it. Lord gonna see you. No, you need to do more than that. You need to do more than pray. Yes, pray for wisdom. Pray for wisdom. But don't pray and stay there and take that abuse. No, I'm not down with that. No.
Well, Carolyn, somewhere in the Bible, I'm not a Bible scholar by no stretch of the imagination, but somewhere I read in the Bible it says prayer without work is what?
It's dead. Yep. It's in James.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Prayer without work is
right. You can't just pray and not do it and help your prayers out,
Yeah. And so many people, they feel like, well, why didn't God take her out? No, we have choices. God gives us choices. They choose to stay. Some of them choose for the shame or whatever. They want out, but they don't know how to come out. And that's why No More Silence. That's why we have Vernon Watson, which is the owner of WBQP. He support domestic violence. He was there when I had my grand opening. Whatever I'm doing as far as with domestic violence, Vernon, his television show, he believes in not a person, a man, a woman coming stay in there. He believed in coming out. He support women that are in domestic violence. He wants you to come out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Carolyn, while we're on this subject, tell them again where they can find help at. Okay, what organization, if people find themselves in that situation. We got national organizations, we got local organizations, and so forth. So, give them some resources again, if you will.
Okay, you have the domestic violence hotline. You might say, well, you know what? I'm not ready to come out. Just get the information. And you don't even have to give your name. It's 1-800-799-7233. And that's also, if you know someone that's in a domestic violence relationship, you can pass this information on to them. If they live here in Escambia County, we have Favor House, which is 850-434-1177. They have a hotline 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can just call and get the information. They also have a place where if you decide that you want to come out, the person that is abusing you, they would not know exactly where you're at. They will pick you up at a location. And we also have Jamie's House. You can call Jamie's House, which is 850-291-4624. That is a place for a mom and with children that wants to get out of abusive relationship. Also, the military. The military has 877-995-5247. And also, you can visit my website, which is Jamie's House, www.jamieshouse.org. You can also visit that. And there is so much resource. If you need food stamp, you go to the top of the line to get your food stamp. If you need daycare, you go to the top of the line. You don't go on a waiting list. Also, if it's causing you where you have to be off your job, you can still get paid. You can still get paid if you're living in a apartment or something and domestic violence, and you decide that the man he leaves or whatever. Vernon, do you know they can't put you out?
I didn't know that, but I know it now by this show. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known that. And I tell people that.
Yeah. They cannot put you out if you're in a domestic violence. But that's why you need to have your documentation. You need to record everything. You need to have take your journal on 9/25. He came home and he slapped me and this and that. You need to have a journal. You just can't say that to try to get over now. And I'm not trying to tell you no information to try to get over now.
Yeah.
But I'm giving you information to know that. And they have the victims advocate. You can call. It's Tallahassee. I'm gonna have that number for you next time. But anyway. There is funds. If you want to relocate, there is money for you to relocate. Victim advocates, they have the funds because it's in the bill to support women and men that are in domestic violence.
All right. Well, Carolyn, our time is up already. See how quick time flies? It's up already. And tell the folks we'll see them next month. We do this show every month, once a month, on the fourth Thursday of each month. And we play this show throughout the month so that for the folks that missed it can take advantage of this opportunity. Carolyn, thank you, and we'll see you next week on another edition of No More Silence. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Vernon, and good night.
Good night.